So if something is going wrong, you have the right to talk about. But you should not assume that views expressed by the one criticizing should be sacrosanct.
Of course not.
The person you are criticizing equally has the right and the mandate to also subject your critique to interrogation. And so the Vice President said, you have used about 2 months or so to criticize government's approach towards COVID-19 and its management. You have thrown shades at government. We also have to let the people know, and mind you, the government, led by the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and the President of the state, Mr. Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo, has the right, one, to protect Ghanaians. He has the right to manage the economy. He equally has the right to correct any misinformation that is put out there, because one cannot also underestimate the negative effects of negative news on the management of the economy, on the progress of the economy. So the Vice President came out to say that if indeed Mr. Mahama wants to present to Ghanaians that if he were in charge, he was going to manage this better than government has done, the thing is that the acid test to any political decision is what is the alternative. And so if you think you are the alternative, then we can only judge you by what you have done before and the opportunity that you have had.
Okay.
And if we cast our minds back and situate the argument within this decade or the last decade, Ghanaians can readily recall 2 major crises that have befallen the country. One is Dumso, which has been described as internal. You can challenge it whichever way you want to look at it. But I describe it as a crisis that was presented to us as a result of the incompetence and inefficiencies of a government, and that is Mr. Mahama's government. Then 2, we have COVID-19, which has been touted or described as a global pandemic, and the source or the origination of it has nothing to do with government or whatever incestuous policies that we have within our country.
That's where they say you compare, apples with oranges, because you should have gone to Ebola and how President Mohamed's regime managed it.
And that is why I say that, with all due respect, that cannot be right. And they are only trying to strike a difference where there is no distinction. How can we compare COVID-19 that has had serious debilitating effect on the Ghanaian people, their pockets, their businesses and the economy, to Ebola, which was never recorded in this country, and by extension, even if had effects on us, it could be latent. Okay? So Vice President Bawumia situated the two within an argument. He was not comparing the two as crises that have been fallen under 2 different sectors. The sector, whether health, crisis, can be flood crisis, it can be farming, it can be bushfire, it can be energy related, it can be health related. The sector that the crisis falls within, or where it is coming from at this point, is immaterial. What is of material substance at this particular point in time is whether or not the crisis had effects on the people and how they have been managed.
Okay.
Now,